Hello everyone. So I had an order to make had have it's actually have I have an order to make small chops pack 12 packs for a client, and she's using it on the 31st. That is, today is Saturday, today is 30th. I'm delivering it on Sunday 31st December 2023, which happens to be the last order I have for this year. So I want to walk us through the process. I'm just coming back from the market. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm looking all messed up. For the items for my small chops that I made, I got my corn flour for 600 naira for half kilo. Then I got thyme, two times sachet, 100 naira for the two, that is 50 naira two. Ginger and garlic powder to 100 naira. Then curry masala. I had Onga cubes at home, so I didn't buy the seasoning cube. And then I got a cling film for 600 naira. I bought my meat for 2000 naira. I asked them to cut that meat into 100 naira sizes, 2000 naira. That's giving it about 30 pieces. I got carrots for 500 naira, three large carrots 500 naira. My service I got for 150. I got two and a half bottles of oil. I got it for 2500. Then flour I bought half pint for 1.5. I got sugar half cup for 600. Then I got eggs that I'm going to use for both my buns and for my puff puff for 500 naira. Then I bought pepper, this ata rodo pepper for 200 naira. Then I kept 100. I kept 1000 naira for gas. I kept 1000 naira for gas. I'm going to drop in a detailed list of all the items I used. Now, contrary to our first date for delivery, she later said she wanted the items to be delivered on the 1st of January. So instead of it becoming my last order for 2023, became my first order for January 2024. So this is me preparing my packs. I usually clean up my packs. If I'm using foil packs, I usually clean them up like this. While if I'm using disposable plastic or transparent pack, I usually wash them. They allow them to dry, then wipe them with my Serveitte and then prep them. So my prepping is very simple for my packs. I get this snack picker. I get it most times. I usually like using colored ones so that when I place them on my serviettes, the color of the snack picker comes out. But I couldn't get the snack picker color of my choice. So I just got white. Now I didn't buy the snack picker recently. I got it last year, so I can't really remember how much the snack picker cost in a pack. It's usually 15 a pack, around 400 to 500 naira or something. Then my foil packs too, I have bulk of them. I think I still have about 100 pieces left, so I can't tell the price of those now. But they usually sell per dozen too anyway. But I usually buy like 50 and 100 and keep ahead of time. So this is me cleaning. Once I'm through cleaning, I got this sealable nylon that they usually used to sell 50 naira chin chin, or is it 100 naira cakes, or 50 naira popcorn. This sealable nylon, I'm going to be folding my serviettes and keeping my snack picker into each individually. I'm making 12 packs. I'm going to be having 12 of that. Then at this stage, if I was delivering to like for an event and I'm using this packs, I'm going to be adding my logo. But because this is for a family, they're not sharing anything, they just want to have something to eat on New Year's day, I'm not adding my logo to it. So I'm just going to attach my get the label nylons, those small label nylons, fold my serviette in this manner. Then I'm going to add my snack picker and I'm going to place it in the nylon and seal it just like this. That is what I did for this aspect. So she later decided to add buns and a tray of buns and a tray of puff puff to our order. I usually sell my tray of puff puff, the small chop size, those small chop size, for 4000 naira. That is, my tray is 100 pieces. I just sell it for 4000 naira. But since she wanted half of it, it was 2000 naira. Then for my buns, that small chop size, that small size for buns, my crunchy buns, I usually sell it for 6,000 naira for a tray, that is 100 pieces. So since she wanted half of it, that is 3,000 naira. So that's the extra addition she added to our order. So I'll leave a detailed list of all the items I used in this video. Let me take a breath and say Happy New Year to all my old subscribers. Thank you so much for your support in the previous years. And to all my new viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for viewing. And I hope at the end of this video, you'll find a reason to subscribe, because there are loads of business tips I do share. So I first went ahead to start with my puff puff mix. To my OGs, you know that I already have a puff puff mix recipe, a detailed puff puff mix recipe on this channel. So I'll leave a link to that in the description box beneath this video, and also I think I'll drop a link, like a card link, above this video. So this is me prepping. Since I was going to kind of work overnight, I was working during that December 31st 2023 to the crossover morning, that is January 1st. So that's the time frame I had to prepare this order. So this is me mixing my puff puff mix. I'll leave the link in the description box beneath this video. So to my new viewers, please just take out your time now to subscribe. It means a lot to me. And leave me a comment. I want to hear your view. I want to know what you think about this video. So I'm trying to do things differently this year. I'm trying to remove background music for my voiceover, because I want everybody to grab what I'm sharing. Please, if this video means so much to you, please subscribe, share, leave me a comment. I love reading your comments. So this is me done with my puff puff mix. Next, I went to my Smallchops Jacket mix, and like my puff puff mix, I already have a detailed video of how I make my Smallchops Jacket mix. I'll also leave a link to that in the description box beneath this video, and also I'll leave a link up in this video to make it easier for us to find. Trust me, the video is very detailed. I mentioned how to store, how to package, and the likes, how to get the perfect Smallchops jackets consistency. It's a no-fail recipe, and that has been one of my top watch videos on this channel. So please check the link in the description box in this video for that. So this is me just doing the mix. The only video I don't have on my YouTube channel is this my commercial crunchy buns mix. Now, if you want me to share this particular video, trust me, this is the best commercial buns recipe you can ever get on YouTube. No cap, no cap. That's actually saying the fact. This is the best you can ever get on YouTube. So if you want me to share this recipe on my YouTube channel, then leave me a comment in the description box and just write, I wanted to share the recipe to your commercial buns mix, a detailed recipe. And if I can get enough people asking for this recipe, I'm going to drop it, a very detailed recipe. So this is me making the mix. I was trying to make work easier for me, since I'm the only one doing everything, the prep and everything. So I was trying to make work easier for me. So I was just making all my mix and keeping them aside. This is what I do when I have small shops business, small shops order rather. I make my mix, I keep them aside, then I start the preparation. Now this crunchy buns mix, it's not like some commercial buns that I eat that is not crunchy. This is crunchy. I have a recipe for a non-crunchy version, but this one is crunchy. If you like those crunchy buns, those our original buns, this is it. So this is me now making the wet item, adding the wet item rather to my buns, my commercial buns mix recipe. If you want me to share this recipe, please leave me a comment in the description box and just say, I want you to share your commercial buns mix and its recipe, and I will do it if I have enough people asking for it. Thank you very much. To my OGs, thank you so much for your support in 2023. It means so much, so much to me. And to my new viewers, if you are still watching to this extent, it means you find value in my video. Please just subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave me a hi, I'm new here, and I'll leave you a special shout out, a special virtual hug in my next video. Now I'm down to prepping my veggies. She Because the pack is a basic pack of 750 naira instead of 800 naira. It's the spring rolls are going to be vegetable spring roll. Since there's no protein, no beef or chicken in the spring roll, it's just veggies. So for my veggies, I am using basically carrots, I'm using cabbage, I'm using kidney beans and green peas, I'm using spring onions, I'm using bell peppers, I'm using the Scotch bonnet or rodo basically. Then even my spices, I'm keeping it I'm making it basic. I don't want to play around with their taste board. I just wanted to keep everything simple. So if you have seen my ultimate ultimate meat pie sauce recipe, you have an idea of what I'm doing here. Now for this particular video, for this particular order, I'm using a 60 to 40 ratio for my cabbage and carrots. Now to my OGs, you understand what I mean when I say 60 to 40 ratio. That is, my cabbage is 60%, my carrot is 40%. You can do 50-50. If you have watched my ultimate meat pie sauce recipe, you know the reason why I have a ratio for my cabbage and my carrot. Always stick to a ratio, it works every time. So for this particular recipe, I'm doing a 60 to 40 ratio. 60% of cabbage and 40% of carrots. That is what I'm doing here. Now when making sauce for your spring rolls and samosa, there are different ways of prepping your veggies. There are different ways of prepping your veggies. For my spring roll or for spring rolls, all your veggies should be cut or shredded in a stripe. Why for samosa it has the same prep like your meat pie sauce. Your veggies should be cut in cubes. I repeat it again, spring roll in stripes, either you're shredding it or you're slicing, while samosa in cubes. So you're going to see me doing that all in this video. For my carrots, I shredded it in stripes. Then my bell pepper, I slice it in stripes too. My cabbage too in stripes. So always keep that at the back of your mind. Spring roll veggies are always in stripes. Even for the protein, if you're going to add chicken or beef, make sure you're shredding or slicing in stripes. That is another unique difference between the samosa and spring roll sauce preparation. The only thing you can't really cut in stripes because it will be too long are the spring onions. So what I usually do is, instead of making the cutting of my spring onions or the slicing, instead of making it too small, like too little, I make the cutting a little bit long, just like this. Don't want it to be too short, but I don't want it to be extra long. So apart from the spring onions, and then other things that you can naturally cut, which is the green pea and kidney beans, or sweet corn. If I'm adding sweet corn, there's some spring rolls I do that add sweet corns too. So if I'm using those veggies, I can cut. Every other veggies comes in stripes format. So after soaking my kidney beans and green peas, I boiled them with my beef, seasoned it and boiled it to have this very soft. No, I said at the beginning of the video that I usually make use of dried spring roll. I get a dried version of it from this mall I'm selling and soak it overnight so it becomes plumpy and a little bit soft. And I boil it, season it and boil it well alongside with my beef, so that the the seasoning I use in boiling the beef will radiate in the green pea and kidney beans. So this is how I prep my green pea and kidney beans after buying it. Then next, I now went to my sauce preparation. I first of all fried my beef. For my beef, when I'm frying, or even not just only beef, for any person I'm using for shops, I don't fry it dry. If you fry your beef or chicken, for instance, dry, it's going to shrink. It's going to shrink. So even if the beef you bought, even the cotton is big, By the time you fry it dry, it's going to shrink and it's going to lose that juicy texture, juicy taste when your client's eating it. So I don't fry it dry, just a little bit golden brown, and I remove it from the oil. So I don't fry it dry. So this beef, it's the 100 naira size. If you want, if your packs is, if you are doing a pack of like, let's say 1 to 1.5, and you are using, still using beef, you're not using chicken, you can make your beef to be the 200 naira size. When you go to those people selling meat, tell them you want a beef size. Let's say you want to buy like 5,000 naira worth of it, but you want them to cut it in the 200 naira size. So for this my own 100 naira size, I usually get 15 pieces for 100 naira size, 15 pieces for 100 naira size for 1,000 naira. So that 1,000 naira give me 15 pieces in that 100 naira size. I hope this analysis makes sense to us. Let me use this time to also apologize for my cranky voice over. I'm a little bit, not a little bit, I'm very, very down health wise. So I'm just trying to keep up with my resolutions of always trying to share videos on my vlog channel. So please just bear with me once my voice is back on track. It will be clearer. So I'm preparing the sauce now. I first went in with my red my Scotch bonnet that was roughly blended, and then I added my spring onions. I like to to fry a little bit, and went in with my kidney beans and green pea. I like to fry too. If I was adding protein to this sauce, I'll add the protein immediately after adding my spring onion. Well, I'm not adding protein, I'm just going with my veggies. Then I went in with my cabbage and carrots mix, and then once I allow that stir fry a little, I'm going to go in with my seasoning. My seasoning are basically thyme, curry masala. I love using curry masala now for my sauces. Then I'm using ginger and garlic powder, and then salt and seasoning cube. I'm keeping it simple as that. Number one, this is a commercial recipe. The main aim is for you to satisfy your customers and also to make profits. If you are still watching to this very moment and you're a new viewer and I'm not subscribed, please subscribe. It means so much to me. So if you have watched my other videos of my sauce making recipes, you see that I usually use this wooden spoon or wooden spatula to stir. Yes, that's what you're actually supposed to use when making your sauces. So once my sauce is ready, I'm going over to do the wet ingredients for my puff puff mix and for my small chops jacket mix. To add the wet ingredients. So that's what this next clip is all about. To all my OGs, you already know what is happening here. What I'm basically doing is my sauce is ready, so I'm just placing them into this basket to strain out the oil residue from my sauce. I don't usually add this thickener that people usually add to their sauces. I've seen a lot of that on YouTube. I don't add that thickener because I want my clients to have this perfect crunch when they're eating their chops. So I don't add that thickener to my mixture. So the way I drain out the oil residue or liquid residue is to put it in a strainer like this and allow the residue or oil to drain. Now this for my puff puff mix, this is where I added the egg, and then I'll add, if you wanted the peppery puff puff, so I'm going to be adding the pepper after it has proved. I'm going to add pepper after it has proved. So this is me doing my small chops jacket. I have a detailed video on how to make your small chops jackets, either for samosa and spring roll, and also the size, the perfect size for your spring roll. I've seen different versions of spring roll sizes, very long. Some people's spring roll are so long and big, like sausages and fish rolls, which is not supposed to be so. It's called small chops, something you just have to either take one bite or two bites, and that's all. So it doesn't have to be very long, like ones I've seen, or or flat. It's spring roll. So I have a detailed video on that. I'll drop all this link in the description box beneath this video. Then once I was through, I went to folding. I went to folding. If you want to see more of these and why I fold like this and the sizes, my small chops jackets have a size. Have a size. I've shared that in my previous video. So if you want to see the sizes and all that, I'll share that. I'll drop the link to the video of that. Now, I've seen a lot of people asking me, do I have classes? Do I have classes? Yes, I have online classes for almost all my businesses, for my small shops, for my cakes and all that. So you can check the description box to chat up with me and sign up for either my small shops class or any classes of your choice, either any of my pastry classes. You are free to do that. I'm always ready to attend to you. If you don't see movement on my screen, it's because I'm making the small chops jacket and also doing the folding of the spring roll at the same time. I'm doing them at the same time. So this is the mini sauce left after I was through. I made 750 gram of small chops jacket mix, which gave me 74 pieces of spring roll. 74 pieces of spring roll. For my puff puff, I made 500 gram of my puff puff mix, which gave me 181 small chop size for puff puff. That's on my pepper puff puff. Then for my buns, for my commercial buns recipe, I made 3 cups and quarter cup, like 3 cups and quarter of the recipe, 3 cups and quarter of the recipe, and it gave me 91 small chop size of buns. I'm going to be leaving the details in the description box. Like I said, if you want me to share my small chops, my commercial buns rather, my commercial buns recipe, just let me know in the comment section and I will share it definitely. Then I'm just deep frying, yeah, and I'm working this around 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm frying outside. You can see my ring light stand beside my fry pot, so I fried outside. And then once I was through with my spring roll, I then went over to start with my puff puff. Now it is after my puff puff mixture was proved, that's when I added my pepper. So if you want to also make like mosa, plantain mosa, allow the basic, that is your puff puff base, to prove first before adding your plantain for your mosa. If you want to make coconut puff puff too, the same logic. Allow the base of your puff puff to prove first before adding your coconut, shredded coconut. So this is me frying the second batch of my spring roll. And then I went over to fry my puff puff. I'm making the small puff puff, that is a small chop size. Now on to packaging. Once I finish frying, allow the spring roll to or the puff puff to strain in a strainer, and I transfer them into their pack. So this last aspect of the job is something that I usually look forward to after all the stress. Small chops is stressful, trust me, but the pay is the pay covers the stress most times. So just doing the packaging, you can't believe that as small as this order is, just 12 packs of small chops pack, then half tray of puff puff, half tray of buns. It was very stressful. So this is me frying my buns, my crunchy buns recipe. If you want the details, please let me know in the comment section, like I've said. Now to my OGs, I want to say thank you so much for all your support. Thank you all so much for your support. I just pray God blesses me this year so that I will do some giveaway to all my OGs. You guys have been the best support system I've had since when I started this vlog channel. Thank you so much. Now I also have a recipe channel for those of us that are bakers, into cakes, into confectionaries, into desserts. I have a recipe channel on this YouTube. It's called Sussy's Cakes Recipes. I will leave that in the description box so you can also follow that page too. And trust me, this year by God's grace is going to be me investing all my time into creating educative content for all my viewers. So finally, I'm doing my packaging. So for this packaging, I'm just adding the cover and closing it. Like I said, if I'm taking it outside, I'll add my logo. I'm not taking it outside, just like a family thing in my customer's house. I'm not adding my logo to it, and I'll put this into my carriage bag, and then that is it. That is all for this. That's all for this. Please remember to check the description box beneath this video for more details. If you have watched this extent, thank you so much for your support. To all my new viewers, please remember to subscribe. It means a lot to me, and thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye for now, and keep enjoying the holidays. Happy New Year once again.